is a comprehensive solution.
Tolerance to these high levels. 3. The gamer becomes dependent on these high levels to survive. 4. There's a cognitive decline because the prefrontal cortex of the brain is responsible for giving and self-control making it hard to stop. And finally, follow. Is it there?
Quick question from the psychologist. How does Ghana deal with this rising menace of gaming addiction? Well, I followed the road straight to the 11th Intermediate School Public Speaking Competition in Accra, and the answers were loud and clear. So follow me as I bring you the highlights and some of the interviews that went down. Stay logged in.
I woke up fully in my elements, so I figured, why not show off some of my hidden talents? The rap, the bars, the vibe.
We
you got
are the
it.
dreamers.
Make sure that you put everything
This guy can book a presidential suite to the United Kingdom just to buy a belt hook.
Now this man was saying he was nervous but still certain he was gonna win the trophy. Well, he didn't. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mute his mic real quick.
And at the end, where and I'll be giving surrendering. This week, as pure sanctions Christ will come to the amen.
Madam Chairperson, distinguished guests, respected panel of judges, respected colleagues, most importantly, respected participants.
Now let's hand the mic to each speaker and give them about 45 seconds.
And yeah, I forgot to mention, the microphone was wilding. Constant breaks, random glitches. It gave the speakers a really tough time.
Anyway, let me just skip ahead to a part where the microphone actually behaved for once.
I live with the words of Samuel Johnson. The changes of habits are too weak to be felt until they are too strong to be broken. Maybe this is not just a you see yourself in this situation.
Most people prioritize gaming over work and education, leading to a decline in the human or skilled human resource. There's also financial loss to the individual. Most people spend a lot of money on in-app purchases and subscriptions, causing financial strain on the people and makes it worse when they are the breadwinners. Gaming also leads to a significant drop in social and communication skills. Most people or gaming create an escape where it disconnects people from reality, leading to a drop in their social or academic. Ladies and gentlemen,
mandates that on every app a gaming industry ends on their platform or others to target vulnerable groups. They need to add not just information about awareness of gaming addiction, like pet responsibly, but indications and directions to where to get help. Popular ones are transcranial magnetic stimulation, also called TMS. Say it after me. Transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS.
So Unia, as I was scanning through the audience, my eyes caught this fine girl. Now tell me, why shouldn't I zoom in? I mean, the KNUST lady really showed up. Just look at her. Pure elegance. Okay, bro. Focus.
Monetary stakes. And this is actually corroborated by the Gaming Act 721/2006, Section 3.2 of the 1992 Constitution. Example of this gambling-based games are online casino games, loot boxes, aviator, and jackpot. Now, these games actually involve real money, which offers players quick wins and give them tempted to continue playing these games. Gaming in itself is not a bad thing. Africa is not to be left out. A revenue of $1.61 billion is expected this year alone. Ghana had 41.74% of its population engaged in sports betting. Regrettably, 40.6% of them are under the legal betting age of 18. That would be me. You, or Evie. You. Many efforts are at risk. 7 in 10 Ghanaian youth gamble on sports. Most of them spend at least 6 hours a day doing so. These are our potential doctors, lawyers, teachers, future leaders of our country, Ghana. If we do not heed this cry to curb this menace, that bright future we long for will be nothing but a broken dream. Reach out to Kwame in your life.
Oh, Kwame.
To take care of you.
If you had a boyfriend,
I want
3
it.
years or so they were dating, a week before they started to learn seriously for the worst, he broke up with her. Why? Oh, he has to learn. Fine. 2 days later, Ekia sees the boy with his girl best friend. Ekia has some serious breakfast. I mean, come on. So of course, she's going to resort to gaming. She has to cope somehow. And then this is how we started. Or you finally get to go on that date with your crush. I saw that smile. That explosion of happiness releases dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical. It's the same rush you get when you win a game. But here is the catch. Gaming addiction delivers unnaturally high dopamine levels, higher than what we get in real life. Over time, this creates a cycle. So 1, continuous winning triggers high dopamine levels. 2, the body builds tolerance to these high levels. 3, the gamer becomes dependent on these high levels to survive. 4, there's a cognitive decline because the prefrontal cortex of the brain is responsible for giving itself control limits, making it hard to stop. Then finally, the gamer has withdrawal symptoms, so anxiety, irritability, and depression set in when the gamer is not gaming, forcing them back to the cycle. Now, this is the same process we see in drug addiction. There are only difference. You don't need a drug dealer, just mobile data or Wi-Fi.
See, there's consistency in all the presenters. Gaming, gambling, gaming, gambling. I want to say gambling.
Kofi is an expert in sports podcast.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, they do it.
Send them a number, Mr. I'm a boss.
In that sense, Kofi Travis.
So you don't need to say.
This is Kofi.
Yes, sir.
So these are some of the ways by which you can do it. Mostly families have to be involved, and cognitive behavioral therapy is the gold standard.
In this problem are not involved in the decision making at all. It is likely to fail. That is why ART has decided to adopt the human-centered design approach to point out some preventive measures for this rising menace. The chairperson, panel of judges, participating schools, esteemed guests. My name is Patience Cedric, the second speaker for the new year.
Hey! The legendary The King Awards. Now always remember, the house is always watching. This guy is way too sneaky.
And what have you? But then what we are not talking about is the ever-elusive, ever-moving, and silent canker known as gaming addiction. This is why, as usual, we came up with the initiative, Catch Them Young. What do we achieve get from this? And study by the University of Gothenburg, Sweden, details that children are it's much easier for children to get a gaming addiction when they're introduced to these games at a very young age. This is why we thought it wise that as a team, we should catch these children at their very tender ages and educate them on the harms, dangers, and avoidance of gaming addiction.
Operation Game Shift Ghana. Green time for screen time. Operation Game Shift Ghana is a comprehensive solution. It's a government-backed policy and a multifaceted module to prevent, treat, rehabilitate, and reintegrate those affected. We've looked at what is being done globally and we have tailored it to our unique Ghanaian context. We intend implementing a tag system with age-appropriate content ratings and parental controls, coupled with public awareness campaigns on responsible gaming.
Any community. This way, Kwame, who is now in JHS, will benefit from mental health education, and not leaving out Yaya, who has never stepped foot in the classroom and hustles on the streets of Nkrumah. Now, how many of us here remember our all-time favorite TV series on sexual and reproductive health? Jello! How about a whole YOLO season solely focused on gambling addiction education titled Game Over? When I say game over, you say better choices. Game over. Better choices. Game over. Better choices. Be and send around the gambling industry. As we are going to use a big total
Mass that changed the University of Science and Technology. Indulge me for the next 8 minutes as I give the next set of Team KNUST Game Changers. Game Changer 3, Smart Regulations. Pause. Play! Game Changer 3, Smart Regulations. Let's be honest, how many of us have been told to go to bed early, yet when our parents barge into our room?
And that was the last speaker. After that, the speakers were called up to answer questions from the judges.
As he shows us that are signatory for developing gaming addiction.
At the end of the day, here are the results. Feel free to pause the video and analyze it for yourself.
Hello, sir. I'm Emmanuel.
I'm Dr. Jason Morrison. I'm from Dalhousie University in Halifax, Canada.
Okay, that's very impressive to know. We want to ask about the topic for today's program. What do you think about the topic? Do you think it's a relevant one in Ghana?
Well, it's hard for me to speak for Ghana, being from Canada, but I think it's a highly relevant topic everywhere in the world right now. It sounds like similar, certainly in Ghana, gaming addiction is becoming a serious problem, and it's the same in Canada, actually.
Okay. So when people hear gaming, their minds are torn between video gaming and gambling.
I see.
So what comes to mind when we talk about gaming addiction?
For me personally, I was thinking it was more about excessive video game playing in young people, particularly children. I think attending the debate and watching the debate made me think more about the links between gaming as children and then gambling as young adults.
Oh, okay, that's very good to know. And so in the course of the presentation, many solutions were brought out by the 7 schools.
Yes.
Was there anything that stood out to you? And also, were there some points you had in mind that weren't mentioned?
So I've never thought in a lot of detail about this topic before. I would say right off the top, all of the presenters were extremely good. I was really impressed, and I think a lot of great ideas were presented. I really liked the presenters that broke this down into primary, secondary, and tertiary levels of prevention, and the ideas of requiring the companies that are making so much money off this to either contribute back to education and prevention or to build things into their software in the first place so that children can't, for example, get involved in gaming apps, and make it easier for parents to set limits on how much time children are spending playing video games, for example.
Thank you very much for your thoughts.
Okay.
All right, so...
Is that okay?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
And please, can you tell us your name and the school you're coming?
I'm Samira Labram, Family Health Medical School.
Okay, so today's program, what's your experience? Maybe what have you learned from it?
Oh, I've learned a lot, especially with this gaming addiction. I didn't even know like they had like a whole branch. It was very educative, and then the solutions various schools presented actually So I don't know. They seem effective. So then I feel like they should try their very best to implement them because they will help.
Okay, thank you. I'll get back to you. Hello, good afternoon.
Absolutely.
Please, what's your name and which school you come from?
I know someone. I come from Family Health Medical School.
Okay, family health medicine. What is your one thing that you learned from today's program?
Oh, well, I did learn that mental health is something we should take into consideration very, very seriously, and that gambling, in as much as it's fun, can be very addictive, which is in a way bad for us because it's some kind of a disease that we do not even know that it's eating at our mind. Yes.
Thank you. So, do you think this topic fits today's program, or there should have been a better one?
I think the topic fits today's program because it's something that's on the rise in our country. People are actually doing it, and then it has its adverse effects. So it's good this topic was chosen, and we've been educated. We go out there and educate more people, with what they should do and what they shouldn't do, what they don't know about the whole gaming addiction thing. So it was worth it.
Okay, so based on your understanding, do you think the school really won it, or there was a bias?
I don't know how to answer this question. They deserve it. They won. You see, it's the reality. Nothing can be done about it. So
Thank you. Okay, to you too. Do you think the topic was fit for the program today?
Oh yes, it was fit for the program.
Why do you think so?
Because well, since most of us out there, I mean, I didn't know that gambling addiction was a disease, an official disease termed and then given to by the WHO. So then yes, this topic fit the program because it makes individuals out there aware that yes, you can be addicted to gambling, and then being addicted to it is actually a psychological disease which you must try in as much as you must try your best to abstain from.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Well, I feel the competition is a very innovative one. It brings us to the point where we are driving policies. We are actually integrating all of these things that we are saying in the government, we are saying in the world, and we're integrating them here, preparing speeches and everything that we do to get those more practices. I think it's a plausible opportunity, it's a plausible experience that we have.
Did you like the topic?
Yeah, I mean, being a female, right, it made me go into search or to dive and get more knowledge on gaming. Really being a fan of football, but like all those things, it gave me the in-depth of what really people that are into gaming will do. So I think, first of all, it's educative. And even though at the climax of it all, we do get the ultimate, which we plan to do next, we plan to get next time, it broadened our minds to that yes, indeed, people are suffering and we as people have a place.
Well, me, everyone has their opinions, and the loser always has an excuse. Whenever we always have an excuse. All we say is that we just do our homework well, and next year we'll come well prepared. Thank you for your homework. Is there anywhere you would like to
A word. Bet on your life, not on this.
That was their slogan anyway. So thank you for joining us. I hope to meet you guys.
Sure, thank you.
Hello, viewers. So I have with me here winners from the Public Speaking Championship for 2025, organized by the Mental Health Authority of Ghana. And so with me here are
Margaret Bauer. Yeah, I'm Ponsa Insia.
of
The University of Cape Coast School of Medical Sciences.
All right, thank you very much. So I want to ask, out of the 7 schools, UCC emerged winners. So how is the feeling for you? Like, especially because you represented your school. How's the feeling for you?
Very, very rewarding. Like, we are very excited. Very excited.
All right, thank you.
Hasn't quite sunk in. We are very sleep deprived, so we'll probably feel the effects of it later on, but it feels amazing. It's like a dream.
Okay, all right. So I realized that out of all the schools that presented, your presentation was unique, especially touching on gambling. What's the inspiration behind your very unique presentation?
Okay, so first of all, I would say UCC has an image, and taking the entire UCC on your head requires that you come out the best. And so we had to give out our best. And this demanded sleepless nights, thorough researches. Most of the times we had to meet our facilitator to present what we have come up with to him, and he brought in his inputs here and there. So like it's basically it has to do with good preparation. Yeah, it's not something that we took it lightly. We worked so hard, we researched into it, and we looked for solutions that out of the many that we came up with, we looked at ones that we could easily implement within our setting. So yeah, I think.
Okay, yeah, so I would like you to share a message to everyone watching you about the reality of gambling in Ghana, because we know about it, but today we have been enlightened. So, what do you have for people who are watching regarding gambling?
I think the first thing is that we take gambling a bit too lightly, and we wanted to draw everybody's attention to the fact that that everyday thing that we see is a serious menace, and it's actually going to lead to our ruin if we don't take it carefully. Mental health is very important, and over time people are realizing that, and we hope to see a future where people build resilience in their minds, people advocate for themselves and for others, and a future where even things like gambling addiction, which seem like a problem now, will get to reduce it, just like how we reduced the prevalence of smoking from 22% to 4.6%. Yeah, that's what we wish to see, just development and mental health for all.
Okay, so I think the greatest part of the whole win is that you have the opportunity to travel to do a 4 week here. So I know you look forward to it.
Yes.
We really do. We have
really
to.
do, yeah.
There's a lot to prepare, but we're excited. It's going to be, I think, our first time leaving the country,
Yeah.
so that's going to be great.
All right, so we hope when you travel, you learn a lot, come back and transform the country. Thank you very much, and kudos for your good presentation. All right, okay, bye.
Bye.
I called them like 4 times. Almost almost they can't make.
Therefore, to
Because I'm listening.
where is the American buy you? Friday.
Friday,
Frown
oh, yam chips. Buy chips.
The jollof. No, it wasn't just chicken.
Let me say something. Edit it. No, I don't trust.
Okay, enter.